So I kind of expected that she wasn't going to be pushing me in that direction. But what she said to me next was, I want you to achieve your potential, because I believe that if you achieve your potential, then that will lead to happiness for you. And she said this for a good reason, because my mum left school when she was 14 and she couldn't read and write because she was dyslexic. And at that point, nobody really picked up these kind of things. And although later on she taught herself to read and write, I don't think she ever really feels, not even today, that she's achieved her potential. So I had this goal in my mind that I must reach my potential, and when I reach my potential, then I'll be happy. And so I was only 15 at the time. My idea of how do you discover what your potential is, because I had no idea what my own potential, what I was capable of. For some reason I thought that other people will tell me what my potential was. And one of the first things I did was, I was quite interested in moving and living in Spain, and I thought, I know, I'll learn Spanish when I was at school. And I went to the teachers and I said, I really want to learn Spanish. And they said, Joanne, you're not really good enough at French to do Spanish. And now, as an adult, I would say, phooey to you, I'm going to learn Spanish. But at 15, I thought, okay, I'm not good at languages. I'm not capable of doing that, and that's fine. And I left school at 16, and what I discovered was that I wasn't happy in a lot of the different things I was doing. I was doing waitressing, I was doing shop work, I was doing all these different things. And because I had such a strong connection between what my potential was, once I'd achieved that, that would make me happy, I was beginning to think that maybe I hadn't reached my potential from doing those kind of jobs. So I pushed myself a little bit and I'd push myself a little bit. And I was doing these different courses at night school. And then in one quite big push, what I did was apply to Cambridge University, which some of you have probably heard of. And obviously, I come from a family where nobody's been to university, and I decided to go for the top university in the whole country. And I was thrilled when I was asked to come for an open day at the university. And what happened was there was a group of people, it wasn't like individual interviews, there was a group of people in the room, and a lot of the people there were quite posh. Now, you might not be able to tell by my English accent, but I'm not posh. So I was a little bit out of my depth with this. And there was a guy who was clearly a teacher or somebody important with the university. And he was talking to the guy that was standing next to me, and this was a tall guy. And he said to this chap, yes, if you come to Cambridge, I can see a bright future for you. And at the end of this all, I can see that you should be aiming for a B, or a 2-1 as it's called in English. But you should be aiming for a B grade. And I thought, oh, this is quite interesting. And then he turns to look at me, and of course I'm shorter as well, so he turns to look at me. And he says, and you should be aiming for a C. And I thought, you don't know me. Now, previously, my 15-year-old, my 16-year-old, my 17-year-old me, and in fact, I was 24 by the time that I applied to Cambridge University, the old me would have said, yes, okay, I ought to aim for a C. But the new me was thinking, you know that I'm a waitress, you know that I'm going to night school, but you know absolutely nothing more about me. And I turned around and I had quite a turning point in my life, that instead of listening to somebody and thinking, they're the experts, they know what I'm capable of, I just thought, you don't know me. You may know your subject, and that I will give you credit for, but you don't know me. And the reason I know that you don't know me is that I don't know me. I don't know what I'm capable of yet. And as I said, that was quite a big turning point for me. And what happened from then on, I kept pushing myself and pushing myself. And there was a lot of times when I wanted to be safe. And what I would have preferred to have done was discover my potential just through introspection alone, just by thinking about it, because then that would have been a lot safer than going out there and trying different things. So I went to university, I moved to London, I did my professional exams and I failed them the first time, and then I passed them the second time around. I moved to Madrid, which had been my dream all along, and I still didn't have the Spanish, but I got on with it and learnt it when I was there. What's interesting about potential, and what I've discovered really quite recently, or just being able to articulate it more recently, is that I thought potential was something fixed. I thought that there was a goal that I should be aiming for, and once I'd achieved it, then I would be happy. And I became quite frustrated that the goal kept moving. But now I realise that potential isn't something that you reach. It's something that you reach for. And it's in that reaching for it that makes you happy. Well, that's certainly what I found happiness for myself. Oh, by the way, I got a B when I was at university, so to that guy. And really what I wanted to end the conversation with is, who's deciding your potential? Who's deciding what you're capable of? And it's okay if you're listening to other people, or it's okay if it's listening to yourself, or it's okay if you're listening to your family. What I'm interested in is that bringing you the happiness that you believe it will?